with Tim Manners, as a matter of fact. And we had read in the New York Times a few weeks before that John Lennon lived in the Dakota, which we didn't know. So we asked somebody in Central Park, where's the Dakota?
Yeah.
And they said, oh, it's that foreboding building over there.
Yeah.
You know? So we saw it. It looked like Rosemary's Baby building, right?
Yeah.
So we walked over, and we asked the guard, and said, we'd like to see John Lennon. We'd like to see John Lennon. And he goes, he's not home. You know? He said, but you could leave a message if you like. He was nice, you know.
Yeah.
You could leave a message. He says, no, it's all right. You know? So I told Frank about it the next day.
Yeah.
And he said, man, what a great thing to write about.
Yeah.
You know, you see your hero and this and that, and you can't get to see him, you know, and this and that.
Right.
You know, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You know, you can't see the wizard. You know.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, let's do it right now. And so we wrote this poem with music, right?
Yeah.
And it went like this. It goes. In Central Park, headed west on a Sunday afternoon, I did all I could to get my message through all the years I had to wait. I was young when I wrote it. Man, I couldn't get past your gate, but it's alright, I guess. I'm just one to reminisce. Life back in '64, life was such a bore, except when I bought your record at the local store, and we didn't have a care, but now you're a millionaire, and we're waiting outside in Central Park West. Right.
That's great. That's good. I like that.
And we traveled 50 miles, hoping to see you. Pass the time and say hello. But there's so many people who do the same, play the game, it's so insane, all in vain. I hope you get to read this by your birthday, before the cards and letters wash this all away. And though it's so remote, let's try and cross the moat at Dakota on 72nd Street.
That's great.
So we sent it to him.
That's so cool.
And a month later, right?
Yeah.
They put the self-addressed stamp envelope on the left.
Yeah.
It was in the friggin' mailbox. I'll never forget. It was finishing like a paper route or whatever it was, and it was at the house on King Street, right? Open the mailbox, right, and I see the self-addressed stamped envelope, and like I'm shaking, the hands are shaking as I'm opening this thing, and then I looked at it, I didn't know what the heck it was. There was 2 pieces of paper in it, but I couldn't understand it, and I realized it was holding it upside down. Right?
You're so nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I turned it upside that way, and it said, you know, to Phil, love John Lennon, you know, with the face and then a smile, like a little wink on it, you know, John Lennon, right? And it was /76. And he did one for Frank and another piece of paper.
Really?
Yeah.
So cool.
Really
You still have that?
I have that, and then I did it again in 1980. We communicated with him in March of 1980.
Did he get back to you again?
Yeah. This time he ripped the top of it. It was a letter this time. And it was about something in the New York Times that they put a full-page ad. And he was coming out of he was in retirement at the time. But anyway, so he ripped off the top of the letter. It's really nice. And he scribbled one. He wrote, you know, wish you well, right? Love, John Lennon. But he had like a little drawing of himself, Yoko, and Sean. So it was fun.
Oh, wow.
Really? /80, 1980.
Yeah, that's
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's really
It was
great.
really touching. You know?
Yeah.
I was shaking to the core.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah. I have copies of it too. I made copies of it as well.
We should do like an arrangement of a song.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's nice too.
It's a good song.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of like George Harrison.
It reminds me a little bit of Paul Simon.
Yeah, or Paul Simon. Yeah.
But it does have a John Lennon thing too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you could do it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, we'll consider.